2024 was a wild year on-chain. The onset of meme coin mania caused an explosion in decentralized exchange activity, sending blockchain TVL through the roof. Yes, gone are the days of reminiscing about the DeFi Summer of 2020. Trading on-chain is red hot once again, and the decentralized exchanges that make it all possible are building at a breakneck pace. So the question is,
where do we go from here?
Well, a new report from one of the biggest crypto exchanges reveals the trends set to define decentralized exchanges in 2025. My name is Guy, and stay tuned for our top 3 takeaways from this report and how they could change crypto this year. Today's report is titled The State of DEXs 2025, and it was written by OKX, one of the leading centralized exchanges on the market today. It's an impressive piece of work, and it goes into far more detail than we can cover in one video. But if studying trends in liquidity pool mechanics sounds like a nice bit of bedtime reading for you, you can find the full report linked to in the description. Now, from this report, we've picked out 3 major themes to watch in the decentralized exchange ecosystem in 2025, namely, is Solana actually going to be the death of Ethereum, the rise of decentralized derivatives, and how AI is changing DeFi. And by the way, if you don't yet have an account at OKX, you can get up to $20,000 in bonuses and a 40% discount on trading fees exclusively when you sign up through the Coin Bureau deals page, also linked to down below. So, without further ado, Ethereum and Solana, the 2 Layer 1 smart contract titans. Not long after Solana's launch in 2020, people started calling it the Ethereum killer for its ability to do more or less everything Ethereum does, but much faster and for much cheaper. But while Solana was a welcome evolution, Ethereum was the revolution that started it all. In 2015, Ethereum gave us smart contracts and DeFi and fathered most of the altcoin market as we know it. This first-mover advantage, along with 5 years of uncontested dominance in the late 2010s, gave Ethereum a moat so thick that the whole Ethereum killer shtick was always just a bit of a cute joke. However, the crypto landscape underwent some profound changes in 2024, and it may be time to rethink just how unassailable Ethereum's lead really is. If the price performances of ETH and Sol can be interpreted as the market's vote of confidence in either ecosystem, then there are certainly grounds for asking this question. Solana has siphoned a lot of mindshare from Ethereum. While Ethereum trundles down a convoluted roadmap and ETH maxis debate whether Layer 2s are a poison or an antidote, Solana's low fees, speed, and retail-friendly ecosystem provided the perfect conditions for the explosion in DEX activity that we saw last year. In 2024, Solana-based DEXs captured 48% of total DEX trading volume, a remarkable feat considering the hundreds of other blockchains with DeFi ecosystems vying for mindshare and liquidity. No prizes for guessing what all this new activity was all about either. Solana has become the casino that never sleeps, and in meme coin speculation, it found a very strong product-market fit. According to OKX's report, meme coin trading accounts for around 60% of trading volume on Solana. Most of this volume is associated with the no-code meme coin launchpad pump.fun, which is single-handedly responsible for more DEX trading volume than any blockchain except Solana itself. It's no coincidence that meme coins found their spiritual home on Solana. Meme coin speculation is characterized by high-frequency, low-value retail trades, and this is an area in which Ethereum just can't compete. At the time of making this video, Solana is processing about 1,200 transactions per second, around 100 times more than Ethereum. Meanwhile, the average transaction fee on Solana is around $0.0001. Ethereum's transaction fees recently hit an historic low of sub-1 Gwei, or about 6 cents. But when the chain is busy, a typical transaction fee is more like several dollars if you're lucky. Had the meme coin mania of 2024 taken place on Ethereum, network congestion could easily have driven gas fees back up to $100 or more. Any on-chain meme season would have been dead in the water. Now, of course, Ethereum has solved this scalability problem with its layer 2s. Their high throughputs and low fees, especially post Ethereum's Dencun upgrade, make transactions snappy and painless. However, this solution has come at the expense of fragmentation of the Ethereum ecosystem, not to mention liquidity. Each layer 2 has its own ecosystem and community, and their memes are typically self-referential. For example, most notable meme coins on Base are self-consciously Base memes. Compare this to Solana, where memes and meme narratives of all kinds thrive without making appeal to the fact that they are based on Solana. Solana's unified ecosystem and user-friendly infrastructure have made it the definitive retail chain. One-click swaps in the Phantom wallet and simple DEX user interfaces have done wonders for onboarding new users who might otherwise have felt out of their depth trying to trade crypto on decentralized exchanges. However, Solana's transformation into the pump.fun casino has, ironically, brought about its own challenges with fragmentation. Although Solana's liquidity is concentrated on a monolithic blockchain, much of this liquidity is contained in liquidity pools smaller than $1 million. Since pump.fun launched in January 2024, more than 103,000 tokens have met the market cap threshold needed to graduate from the platform and migrate to Solana's leading DEX, Radium. Upon migration, the token is seeded with a small liquidity pool, which is burned to ensure the token is always tradable. Now, at the time of making this video, each new pool created is seeded with $17,000 worth of liquidity, although this figure has changed over time. Based on some back-of-the-napkin maths, Solana has probably well over $1 billion in liquidity permanently atomized across junk assets with extremely short lifespans. Now, illiquid markets are prone to high slippage, so if you want to buy a large amount of a crypto with, say, a 5-figure liquidity pool, you're quite likely to leave a big green candle on the chart and pay a higher price than you had originally anticipated. Likewise, you could easily nuke the chart by selling your position. Now, this matters because liquidity begets more liquidity. We know for a fact that there are TradFi institutions buying and selling meme coins, but they are certainly not pump.fun tokens, nor indeed WIF, Popcat, and the rest of the gang. Instead, it's mostly Doge, SHIB, and Pepe. Why is that? Is it because Wall Street has a more conservative taste in memes? Do they have something against Mudeng? No, it's because Doge, SHIB, and Pepe are the most liquid. You can buy and sell relatively large positions in an orderly and efficient fashion, and there are few tokens on Solana for which the same can be said. And this brings me back to Ethereum, which is, despite dismal market sentiment, enjoying a lot of institutional adoption. This is no doubt helped by its deep liquidity, a major part of the Ethereum moat. To bring the point home, OKX's report cites an analysis of the biggest 20 liquidity pools in all of DeFi. It found that 10 are on Ethereum and a further 7 are on its layer 2s. Just one of the 20 biggest pools belong to Solana, which is kind of damning. Solana could be the hottest chain in the world, but it's highly illiquid, and this precludes whale activity to a significant extent. The top liquidity pools of Solana are also highly volatile and can move up or down hundreds of places in a single day as degens in the trenches flip from one trend to another. By contrast, Ethereum's top liquidity pools don't exhibit this kind of volatility. Most are well established, have a long trading history, and with billions of dollars in liquidity, are not especially volatile. This explains why Ethereum still dominates among whales. Although, as the report puts it, Solana's DEXs are, quote, drinking Ethereum's milkshake in many respects, Ethereum still accounts for around 64% of all DEX transactions worth $50,000 or more. Between this deep liquidity, Ethereum's credible claim to decentralization, its security, and the maturity of its ecosystem, the chain is ripe for adoption by and integration with TradFi. So, is Ethereum being killed by Solana? Well, if you're starting at the ETH Sol chart, then it sure looks like it. But if we put our portfolios aside for a moment, it's increasingly clear that the two chains, despite coexisting as smart contract layer 1s, are serving different purposes for different segments of the market. Solana may well be home to a highly liquid, battle-tested DeFi ecosystem one day, but at the moment the liquidity is with Ethereum, and it looks pretty sticky. Likewise, Ethereum's layer 2s, and Base in particular, will likely be able to capitalize on the next wave of meme coin mania, whenever that is, but we wouldn't count on any of them playing the role of a casino better than Solana. Now, our next theme from OKX's report is decentralized derivatives, a rapidly growing but still somewhat underdeveloped corner of DeFi. Perp DEXs like GMX, DYDX, and most recently Hyperliquid have pushed the boundaries of what can be accomplished with derivatives on-chain, but trading volume suggests there is still a lot of room for growth. If you didn't know, most crypto trading volume in general is generated by derivatives. This is mostly because of the leverage factor involved. Centralized crypto exchanges allow you to open futures positions anywhere from 2 to 100 times greater than your account size. This is why, for example, BTC's derivatives to spot trading volume ratio hovered around 10 to 1 in 2024. This is the norm in crypto. However, on-chain, it's a different story. Spot trading volumes are around 10 times greater than derivatives volumes. And this can be attributed to limitations in infrastructure and liquidity. The experience of buying and selling spot on a centralized exchange can be simplified and stripped down on-chain to something as simple and easy as a one-click token swap in the Phantom wallet. The same can't be said for derivatives trading, which tends to be more complex, sensitive, and demands fast and responsive exchange infrastructure. Margin requirements, leverage, liquidations, funding rates, and various order types all make derivatives trading more demanding on the exchange. As a result, derivatives are one of the rare cases when a blockchain absolutely needs to have a high throughput. Ethereum doing 12 TPS is not going to cut it. And this leads me to our first trend in decentralized derivatives in 2025, app chains. The demands of perp DEXs have outgrown existing blockchains' ability to serve them, and they're jumping ship. This trend began with DYDX, the OG perp DEX that used to dominate Ethereum's DEX market. After launching on mainnet, the team nearly went broke subsidizing users' ETH gas fees to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars a day. This wasn't sustainable, so DYDX migrated to the Starkware Layer 2 in 2021. The throughput gains were a big improvement, enabling the exchange to expand from 3 markets to 30 and 5x trading volume from around $6 million to $30 million per day. Now, of course, by today's standards, this volume is peanuts, and DYDX needed to think bigger. So, in late 2023, DYDX launched and migrated to its own sovereign chain, built with the Cosmos SDK and capable of processing 2,000 transactions per second. This helped DYDX process volumes of $1 billion per day, and interestingly, it completed the exchange's decentralization, as during the Starkware era, the matching engine and order book were operated off-chain. Now, this is not great for Ethereum, whose layer 2s were only born so that the network can scale enough to accommodate applications that people want to use, like DYDX. That said, maybe we should consider perp DEXs a special case because they have such a particular need for speed and throughput. More recently, Hyperliquid has siphoned billions of dollars in liquidity out of the Ethereum ecosystem by using an Arbitrum-based bridge as the primary on-ramp for the exchange, which was launched as a sovereign Layer 1 app chain. Running with a very small set of validators, Hyperliquid has sacrificed decentralization in favor of performance. And the performance is remarkable, though. The chain can process 20,000 transactions per second, which is comparable with Binance. And this is not just on paper, as Hyperliquid has processed up to $19 billion in 24-hour trading volume without the exchange so much as flinching. This kind of performance was previously unthinkable for a decentralized exchange, so Hyperliquid has definitely earned its place in DEX history. Now, of course, this doesn't bode well for Ethereum for the reasons mentioned a moment ago. And by the same token, if killer applications like Hyperliquid can't find a single worthy home among the countless blockchains boasting high throughput and low latency nowadays, well, it's not a good look for any other high-performance layer 1 either. Anyway, purpose-built app chains are helping perp DEXs close in on a SEX-like derivatives trading experience. But you know they wouldn't go to all that trouble just to clone a SEX on-chain. Hyperliquid, for example, has a number of innovative and unique fixtures you won't find on any SEX. The most interesting of which is Hyperps, which enables the creation of perpetual contracts for virtually any asset or index. The first index of this kind was an index of the top 20 accounts on the SocialFi platform FriendTech, which once upon a time appeared to have quite a promising future and a number of crypto influencers using it. This index was rebalanced bi-weekly, so if you saw an influencer you didn't like creep into the top 20, you could max short FriendUSD just for fun. Of course, I kid, but this was pretty groundbreaking as a derivatives product. So don't be surprised if you see more creative and unique markets popping up on Hyperliquid this year. Now, our last trend to watch is the meeting of AI and DeFi, so DeFi, I guess. OKX's report points out that this is a very broad category, spanning everything from Bitensor's decentralized open source and permissionless machine learning network to GOAT, an obscene meme coin which belongs in the annals of AI crypto history despite having no AI-related features per se. The AI crypto landscape underwent a dramatic transformation in the second half of 2024 as AI agents arrived on-chain by the thousand and started interacting with decentralized exchanges. In the process, AI cryptos transformed from speculative novelties to critical DeFi infrastructure. Leading the charge was Virtual's protocol, which allows for the creation and community ownership of revenue-generating AI agents on-chain. To date, more than 11,500 AI agent tokens have been launched via Virtual's platform. Human blockchain users now find themselves living among AI agents, trading and providing liquidity on DEXs, sharing market analysis and shitposts, and even scanning social media for trends to turn into meme coins. Meanwhile, more sophisticated agents use a hybrid model whereby off-chain AI models make decisions and on-chain smart contracts handle settlements. This opens up new possibilities for agentic AI trading on-chain. For example, using real-time liquidity data to execute sub-second arbitrage trades across different DEXs. These are all technically interesting accomplishments, but they are admittedly quite niche. Perhaps this year we'll see agents designed specifically for casual users who want exposure to DEX markets but are intimidated or otherwise put off by the steep learning curve of the on-chain trenches. Of course, letting these things run amok throughout the cryptoverse is not without its risks. OKX raises the prospect of agents suffering from some kind of exploit, or worse, going rogue. This has not happened yet, but AI agents are still in a very early phase of their development, and as they say, there's a first time for everything. The report imagines one plausible scenario in which an AI agent with permissions to arbitrage trade across different liquidity pools on different chains is affected by a bridge hack. Bridges are notoriously attractive targets for hackers, and many millions of dollars have been lost through such incidents. A bridge hack could turn the tokens on the bridge chains into worthless IOUs, and it's possible that the agent would proceed to buy and try to arbitrage trade with them anyway. Now, this may be somewhat of an edge case, but it's a plausible circumstance where the lack of human decision-making could exacerbate a security incident. And as AI agents proliferate across every corner of DeFi, well, we're almost guaranteed to see them becoming parties to hacks, exploits, and other kinds of unexpected events. It's also worth pointing out that if an agent did for some reason make a mistake, start hallucinating, get exploited, or go rogue, then having it exist on an immutable blockchain where every action is permanent and irreversible is potentially a bit of a nightmare. Let's expect the worst and hope for the best. Now, 2025 is not even 2 months old, and it has already been incredibly eventful for crypto. Our collective mindshare might be somewhat stuck in Washington, D.C., but there's no shortage of exciting developments unfolding on-chain, where the real party is at. Ethereum is increasingly the chain of whales and institutions, while trend-hopping traders and retailers looking for a quick dopamine hit flock to Solana. Decentralized derivatives infrastructure is closing the UX gap with centralized exchanges fast, while the proliferation of app chains raises hard questions for existing scalable infrastructure. Meanwhile, agents are the new protagonist of crypto's AI narrative, creating new possibilities for automated complex DeFi strategies and on-chain analysis. At the rate they're popping up on-chain, it's only a matter of time until crypto sees its first agent-related security incident. Well, hopefully it won't be an army of agents assembling to rug us all. And if you think the DEX landscape will be shaped by any other major trends this year, be sure to let us all know about it in the comments. If you got something out of this video, be sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and why not ping the notification bell too, so you can catch our next upload before anyone else. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.